Hello and welcome to the Grounding Techniques Workshop. I'm so glad you are here, bestie. And I am, not only am I glad that you're here, but I'm very grateful that you're here, that you are taking the steps into recalibrating your nervous system, that you are putting yourself first, and you're just here to have fun. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you are returning, bitch, let's get started, right? Okay, so what is grounding? Grounding is when we need to literally be present, when we need to be focused, when we need to be, I would say, the best way I can describe it is like being in power, but in a sense of like you're in a stillness, right? You're like, wait a second, hold on. My mind is going crazy. Everyone around me is freaking the fuck out. I need everyone to just shut up for a second.
Mhm.
That's honestly like how for me, like that's when I know I need to ground, is when I start feeling like in a fucking tizzy, right? So that is the first sign. So here are some grounding techniques that help me recenter myself. My favorite one, if you've done readings with me, if you've done workshops with me, even if you joined my lives, you know my favorite technique. And so let's go ahead and try it out. If you're new here, I'm going to walk you through it. And if you are not new here, bitch, you already know what to do. So let's go. All right. Left hand on your chest. And I like to apply pressure. It makes me feel a lot safer. If you are someone who does not like pressure, don't add the pressure. All right. Any of these techniques you can attune to what makes you feel safe. Okay. And then right hand on our sternum. Okay. You're going to take a deep breath in and hold and exhale. Okay. I feel even that made me feel a lot better. And I hope that that's already making you feel a lot better too. So that is one technique. The reason that that may work for some is because our left hand is our receiving hand, right? The way that energy flows through us is through our receiving hands. So when we're telling ourselves that we're going to ground ourselves, we are receiving the grounding energy and we're putting it on our heart chakra, right? We're letting our heart know that we are safe, that it is okay, everything is going to be fine. And we are or from our heart chakra, from our heart chakra, we are asking ourselves to tell ourselves with our right hand that goes on our solar plexus, where our who we are sits, right? Who are at our core, who we are, right? And it's literally at the core of our body, right? So we're literally sending ourselves the information that, hey, it's okay, we are safe, I got you, you got me, right? That is what that does. So and I like to apply the pressure because I do have a little bit more anxiety, and pressure makes me feel safe. So there's that. So if that one resonated with you, I'm so glad. Definitely drop it in the comments if you would like. I would love to hear. I would love to hear which ones are your favorite too, right? And so we're going to go into the next one. So you don't have to do all of these all at the same time. I mean, if you want to, like that would be very impressive. But as we do these techniques, you'll find which one best fits you, along with how you want to attune it to yourself, right? Like I said, for me, I like the pressure. For some, maybe you don't want the pressure. Maybe you don't even like this part, right? So the next one is actually one of the first grounding techniques that I've learned, and it stayed with me for the last, I want to say, three to 5 years. Like I've been using it, and still to this day, it's one of my favorites. So we are going to activate our five senses. What is taste, touch, smell, sight, and hear. Okay. So when we're in a fucking tizzy, shit like is like some may feel overstimulated, some may feel for me like I get like this buzzing sense, like this, like I just like I feel erratic, like I feel like every like just I don't know how to explain it, but that's what it feels like. And for me, when I use this technique, I have to remember, okay, wait a second. What are five things? What are five things that I can touch? So in this moment, like, okay, so now that means I have to hyper focus on what are things I can touch? What is safe to touch, right? I have my computer, that's one. I have this spray bottle, that's two. I have my rock, that's three. I have my body oil, that's four, and I have my crystal, that's five, right? So I'm distracting myself to find, like I'm set myself on a mission of like, oh shit, okay, it's like a game, right? If you like games, you know. And so if you were doing that with me, did you feel like in a rush? Did you feel like um did you take your time? Like, let me know in the chat, for those that are live and those that are watching on the replay. Definitely let me know. Okay. So yeah, so then what I like to do after I've found five things that I can touch, I like to take a deep breath. Okay. Okay, so now what are four things that I can see, right? So now I'm going to start looking for things that I could see. I have like a bunch of notes in front of me. So I have a note from my friend's baby shower. I have a Alice in Wonderland keychain. I have Polaroids of my dogs, and I have a photo of my sister, right? And so at that point, like I already felt like I slowed down. Like I felt like I wasn't in such a rush to like figure out like what's going on, right? Because I'm focusing on what is in front of me. Okay. And I take another deep breath. Okay. So now what are three things that I can hear? I can hear my AC. I can hear my the birds outside. And I can hear my own breath, right? That counts. If you can hear yourself, it counts. Okay. Don't be out here like canceling yourself out. Like you count. You matter. Okay. All right. Okay. Now what are two, let's see, we did sight, we did touch, we did hear. Okay, so the next one would be, what are two things that I can smell? And this is where it gets a little bit harder, because now you're really having to focus on what is around you. And especially like if you're home and doing this, or at work and doing this, these are scents that we are so familiar with that we quote unquote feel like we can't smell anything. It's not true. You just have to like really hyper focus, and you don't have to like sit like super still, like literally, like if you need to smell your perfume, smell your perfume. If you have a lotion, put on your lotion or put in some hand sanitizer, and that counts, right? Or if you have a candle, you could light a candle. If you're in the car, you probably have an air freshener that may or may not like still be scented, but just grab it real quick and see if it has a scent, because you're forcing yourself to find it, right? And that's why that's again, it just helps us get more grounded into where our surrounding is, right? So this next one is something that you would have to carry beforehand, or if like you just happen to like always have snacks. But the last one is, what is one thing I can taste? I love to carry gum or mint, or granola bars. Like I'm always carrying some sort of snacks just in case. And also I'm a snack girly, so we love snacks. Anyways, so then I would take my deep breath, and then I would pull out my snacks. So I don't have my snacks right here, but I did eat breakfast right before. So so yeah, and at that point, once you've gone through all these points, like you will feel more present. Like that is what being present feels like, is acknowledging with all your senses what is your current surrounding, right? You're bringing your focus back to center. You're saying, hey, it's okay. I got this. I got you. You got me. What's at hand here? And then from there, you'll be followed with usually clarity as to like how to move forward, or what decision needs to be made, what action needs to be taken, what words need to be said, especially if you're a hot-tempered girly, guilty. We're definitely working on it. This healing journey ain't easy, but sometimes like we really do need these grounding techniques in hyper emotional situations, right? That's what grounding is to restabilize us and bring us to a more logical point rather than just reacting out of emotions. We don't want that. That's the old us. That's not us anymore. No, we can acknowledge that, yes, she brought us this far. Thank you so much. But girl, I'm so sorry. Like, you got to stay there. We're learning new things now, So, that's that. Another technique. Also, let me know how that one felt, because that one is a little bit longer and that one is more interactive if you did it with me. So if you did it with me, let me know in the comments, or if you're watching on replay, send me a message. Let me know. I want to know. Also, I'm nosy as fuck, so that's why I want to know. And let's see. Okay, moving on into another technique, because I want to make sure that we do have enough time for the meditation as well. But if I am moving too fast, definitely let me know, and I can always slow down too. Right. And even that's a really good grounding technique too. If you are someone like myself who, when you get really excited, you just kind of start spitballing and spitfiring like words, and it just kind of feels like you can't help but just like now it's like a positive, like electric feeling, like, yeah. But if you feel that you're talking a little too fast, because this is me, like I do this at least like 5 times a day, right? Where I'm just like, okay, hold on. Okay, and then I will continue whatever conversation that I'm having at that point. Especially like in readings and with clients too. I'm like, okay, hold on. We're getting too excited. Everyone calm down. The messages are coming through, So yeah, so that's a really good one too. And most of what grounding is going to involve breathing, right? Because our breath, if we're just like, you know what I mean? Like that in itself is I'm not a professional, right? As far as like, I am not a doctor, I am not a licensed therapist. I'm just speaking off of my experience. I do go to therapy. I love therapy, and I'm always like learning new techniques, right? And I'm always sharing them with my friends. And you guys are my besties, so I want to share this information with you as well, right? And so with our breath is kind of, I would say, in my opinion, an indicator of our nervous system, right? It's like the first signal that we can like kind of catch on to, like, okay, wait a second, I feel, or like, like if your heart is like racing, but they're usually like intertwined, is what I'm trying to say. So if my breath feels fast, I'm going to feel like everything around me is moving fast. I'm going to feel like everything around me has me in a panic, right? Or everything around me is just like, bah, you know. And so when I control my breath, I may not be able to control the surroundings. I may not be able to control who's around me. I can't control like what anyone else is doing and feeling outside of me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what feels little control that I have, and I'm going to control my breath. And I'm going to make sure that I feel safe so that I can establish what's happening and how to continue moving forward to continue this feeling of safety. That's what grounding is. Again, I feel like I'm just getting repetitive, but like maybe me just explaining it in different ways will resonate with people at different times. So I apologize. And if you are a crystal girly, black tourmaline is honestly, in my opinion, it's the best grounding stone. And I just feel like I trust this. I don't know what it is. Like I have like such a deep relationship with black tourmaline. Like, I mean, look at this thing. This shit is fucking huge, and it does make me feel safe. Also, if I need to protect myself, a motherfucker's getting knocked out, right? No, but black tourmaline, in my opinion, is by far the best, if not one of the most grounding stones that I trust. And it does feel like that. I feel like with black tourmaline, it's just so grounding. So if you are a crystal girly, I highly recommend black tourmaline. I also have necklaces. I make necklaces that have black tourmaline in it. Also, I can make you a custom necklace as well. So if you're like, bestie, I don't know what I need, I'm gonna tell you. And usually especially recently, there's a lot of black tourmaline that is so needed right now. So if you're interested in a custom necklace pendant, that's $24.44 because it's for you. So hit me up, let me know, and we can definitely get a custom order and throw in some black tourmaline for you. So highly recommend black tourmaline. How are we feeling? I'm not gonna lie, I feel like with every exercise that we've been doing, I feel really relaxed. I feel good. I feel like I'm ready to just like rock this bitch. You know what I mean? So again, if you're watching on replay, if you're watching live, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how all this is like resonating with you. And we're making really great time. So I'm excited. I feel relaxed for sure. Awesome. Awesome. Possum. All right. I'm going to take some water, do a little water break because I do talk a lot. So I know some people get like grossed out by the lick sound. So sorry, but I'm thirsty. All right. So we have done this one. We've done our senses. We did our speech speed. We've gotten into crystals. There are other grounding crystals as well. Onyx is a really great one. Also, smoky quartz is also grounding. Excuse me. But I feel like those stones are more connected for like more psychic work. So like if you want to do more what's it called? If you want to do more shadow work, I feel like that's where those stones really shine, and it's because they're translucent, and so they transmute energy, right? So it's like all that anxiety that you're feeling, it's going to transmute it into allow you to ground so that you can focus and dive deeper. That's how I've seen them work, and that's how I work with them. And with black tourmaline, it's like, it's solid. It's not going anywhere. Like, honestly, if you know a Taurus, because I love my Tauruses, this is like Taurus at like, this is like very Taurus energy. Like, I'm grounded, I'm here, I am not going anywhere, and you're not going to force me to go anywhere because I don't want to go anywhere. Like, and it's not a just a Taurus. Like, I love you all for that so much. Feet are planted. Yes. Y'all will not move if you do not want to move. And that's where stubbornness comes in, right? So there is a such thing as overgrounding, and that is called being stubborn, right? Where we're like, nope, I'm not moving. I'm right here. So, so earth signs do have a little bit more of an advantage of grounding because it's already in their nature, right? Not to say that they're grounded all the time, but if we look at what our elements are, that can also help us figure out what techniques or what is going to help us feel safer in being grounded. I'm a double air sign with water. So that just means that I'm always thinking a lot. I'm always trying to game plan. I'm in my head a lot of the time. And with my emotions being in water, it's like, I'm not only am I thinking, but now as I'm thinking, all these emotions are coming through. Right. So for me, I have to be hyper vigilant and to make sure that I am grounded most of the time, right? Especially like when I'm doing client sessions, or if I'm doing workshops, or if I'm like having really important conversations, I need to be focused and not, coming from a place of emotions, right? So that could also be another thing too. There are other crystals that can help with your elements, right? So I've done custom necklaces for Pisces or for other water signs, but I just have a lot of Pisces clients so and friends and family. So I can make a custom mix just for you for my Pisces and how to ground, right? That's going to work with your element and not against you, to where it's like, I can't get grounded. And it's like, girl, just stop swimming for a second. Like, just chill. It's okay. Anyways. So, but no, feet being planted is a really great one as well. Like, as simple as it sounds, right? So if you're sitting at a desk, or if you're laying down, or even if you're like out in public, right? So putting our feet on the ground, and then just like allowing yourself to just like, and I'm talking about like planted, like your feet should be like this, not like this, not like this, not hanging on the little bar thing. No, like they planted on the floor. Okay. And then if you live, my office is upstairs. So I like underneath is not technically like the earth foundation, but the upstairs floor still represents a ground, right? You know what I mean? So sometimes we just have to like focus on that part and say, you know what? Yeah, I'm right here. Okay. So then when we start focusing on our feet being planted, especially like I have a high arch in my feet. So I have to like, in this case, like I have to scoot back a little bit to make sure that they're like planted. Okay. So what we're going to do now is with our feet planted, we're going to start focusing on these areas in our feet, right? So can you feel your toes touching if you're wearing shoes, can you feel your toes touching your shoes? The insides of your shoes. If you are barefoot or have socks on, can you feel like, what is it that your toes are feeling? What is the material, or what is the surface that it is feeling? So then you're going to try to like, you can wiggle them. You don't have to sit there and like, try to not move. It's okay. So for me, like I feel carpet, right? And then I'm going to move my focus into the tops of my feet, right? which is also going to be carpet, but I'm going to focus to where I can like feel and even maybe just like apply a little pressure just so I'm like, oh yeah. Okay. Okay. My heels. Are my heels planted? Yeah. Feels pretty good. Okay. And then I am gonna jump a little bit and just because I feel like there's a lot of tension in my shoulders. So we'll move the focus over to our shoulders for just a second. And take a deep breath. And see if you can relax your shoulders like just 10%. Y'all does I don't know what 10%. Just don't overthink it. Just see if you can just relax your shoulders just a little bit. And if you have to take a couple deep breaths while you do it, with every deep breath, just relax. Just relax your shoulders a little bit. Maybe stretch a little bit. Wherever there's tightness, just find where there may be tension, maybe where it's uncomfortable. You're like, oh, that's a knot, or fuck, that stretch feels good. Just follow what feels good. And if you feel like, oh, I can't stretch my neck as much as you can right now, it's like, okay, we'll stretch to where you can feel a pull, safely, don't overdo it. And just kind of let the tension sit there. Okay, so for me, like my tension is a little bit more out because I do try to stretch every day. Right? Let me see, find out another one. Oh, okay. Right. So I'm just gonna hold it to where it's a little uncomfortable, but to where it also feels good at the same time, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, keep loosening or tightening until you do find that tension. Okay. And then I'm just gonna take a deep breath. And as I exhale, I'm going to just see if I can relax that area just a little bit more. So now I'm focusing on just that area that's causing that tension and just seeing if I can just relax it. And you may have to do a couple deep breaths. If you stay in one area for too long, you might, when you try to like move, you might like, feel like a little like, on the other side. So just be careful and listen with your body. We don't want to cause strain, right? And then we're going to just stretch our arms. Have you ever like stretched and then made yourself like lightheaded? That's a good stretch. Oh, fuck. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And like, I think it's funny when it happens. I'm like, oh man, that was a really good stretch. Just start like stretching your arms. And you're just gonna find like for me, I do carry like tension like in my upper arms, and and that's kind of why it was coming up because my body like these are routines that I do. I try to do them every day, but I'm gonna be honest, it's been more like once or twice a week, right? So with my schedule right now, that's just kind of where I'm at. But my goal is definitely to get to once at least once a day for like 20 minutes, just like doing some stretches or doing some grounding work, right? So, but yeah, stretching is grounding work. So if you carry more stress in your back and your hips, or in your legs, I do tend to get like swelling especially like in my feet. So I'll do some stretches I'll do stretches, but I'm more inclined to do massages for my lower body more often than my upper body. So, and I will grab like, especially like if you have Luna Love products, I'll grab her oils and I will just start just massaging my legs, right? Just like where is there that it feels like a knot? Where is there tension? Where also like I am a little bit of a masochist. So like, like I was that kid that like loved a bruise because I'm like, yeah, this feels so weird and good at the same time. So if that's not you, massage gently, um, to whatever is comfortable for you, right? But we do want to get that blood flow moving into our legs. So for me, like I said, like it's really like my thighs and my I mean not my thighs, my my feet that swell, and my calves just feel like they are so sore. You know, like I've been running a marathon. So 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 I will massage out the area, and I will definitely like take my time, and that's part of my like self-care routine as well, to where I will like I'll go smoke a little bit, put on some music, and then I'm just like vibing with these oils, right? And especially like based off the intention that I'm working on. Like for example, like if I am working on some, what have I been doing lately? Okay, so I've been working on getting myself out of like scarcity tantrums, right? Where I'm like, oh, I can't, where it feels very like I can't do this, I can't do that. Blech. No, that's not true. So I will grab my products from Lunam Love that are related to that. So that would be like her wealth, her luxurious life, like, you know what I mean, just whatever oils I'm resonating with at the time. It may even be cord cutting. Maybe I need to do some cord cutting energy out of my legs. Our bodies are vessels, and so not only do we carry like physical weight, but we also carry energetic weight. That's why when people say when they release or when they do feel grounded that they feel lighter, because it's literally energy that's been moved and processed, right? Processed and moved, right? So whatever it is that you need, or maybe you're like, I don't have any Lunam Love products. Well, you should. But if not, just lotion, just your favorite lotion, even if it's a Victoria's Secret or Bath and Body Works, or if you're a cocoa shea butter girly, like I don't care. Just grab it, use it, and just get that tension out of your legs, right? And it's also going to help with the, like for me, like I've noticed that like when I do or like even foot soaks, those are really good too. Those are really good grounding. This really turned into like a grounding self-care workshop. So so definitely take what resonates with you. I love to do foot soaks as well. Um and I will do some Epsom salt, again with the oils, and just spend time where I'm just like taking care of me, right? Because taking care of you is still grounding, because you're being present and you're being focused onto like what's at hand, right? You're not gonna like give yourself like the crazy, like the most uncomfortable pedicure just because. I would hope not. I would hope you don't do that. But you know what I mean? Like you would not want to go into a salon to where, or a nail place to where they were just like in and out with you. You'd be like, what the fuck? Like I came here to relax, right? Keep that same energy when you're doing it for yourself. Okay, whether that is um cooking, or grocery shopping, or even clothes shopping, or like whatever it is that you're doing, like just you came for to have, in my opinion, a luxurious experience. So why not just give yourself that too when you're doing self-care? So that's really coming through as well. So I love that. I've been like really reconnecting with my self-care too. When we work our day jobs, and if it's not like with what we are passionate about doing, sometimes we can get stuck in it and just like, oh, but I don't want to. And it's like, no, but you have to remember, you have to take care of yourself so that you can get out of that and then go, and then you're, or like go in the direction that you're like meant to go in. So a little bit of a pep talk as well. All right. How we doing? How we feeling? I feel like I'm like Feeling good? Okay, cool. I'm not now. I like because my body, like I said, like my body is so used to this that now I'm just like, okay, but I just want to keep stretching. And it's like, yeah, but we're teaching right now. So, so if you want to keep stretching, keep on stretching. I am going to drink a little bit of water. And honestly, I think moving into the group meditation, unless anyone has any questions, let me know. Or if you are watching on replay, leave me a question in the comment, and then I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. All right. Maybe just a little bit of stretch. Maybe a little massage. Okay, we'll definitely take care of that later. And my favorite time to do all this too is like at nighttime, right? Because then like my husband, he's watching like tonight, him and his friends are watching some fight, so that means I get to just do my own thing. I get to be left alone, um he gets to have his guy time and I get to have like my me time, so it's fun. Anyways, so let's go ahead and start getting comfortable. We're going to go into our group meditation. If you need to pause to get comfy on replay, go ahead and do so. So you can sit down, you can lay down, you can grab a blanket, whatever it is that you want. You can light a candle. Do what is going to make you feel relaxed, right? I'm going to be sending some grounding energy to you because we are planting these seeds. We are making sure that you remember that one, you're not alone, and two, you have the tools and the resources to take care of yourself, right? Even if this is your first one, girl or boy or they, all of you, all my babies, you have the tools, okay? I promise. And I am here as a resource and support. Okay. All right. Let's get focused. So go ahead and take a deep breath in through our nose and hold and exhale. And release some tension that you may still feel in your shoulders, in your legs, maybe even in your hands. We're going to take another deep breath and hold, and exhale. And just relax just a little bit more. Maybe if you are someone who holds tension in your core, just release. Let your pancita out. It's okay. It's safe. And take another deep breath in and hold and exhale. And this time, really relax into what's holding you. Pay attention to where you are feeling supported. Do you have a blanket underneath your knees or a pillow underneath your knees? Are you laying on a blanket? Can you feel the pillow supporting your neck? What kind of bed sheets material is it? Is it more cotton? Is it more jersey? Is it more satin? And now that we are in this grounding place, I want you to, for one, I want you to thank yourself, whether out loud or in your head. Thank yourself for making time for you to join this workshop, to watch this workshop. Send gratitude to yourself, whether this is your first step in taking care of yourself or choosing you, or this has become such a regular routine for you. We're just going to stay in this for a moment. Really appreciating this time, this space, this day. And whenever you start to feel like maybe you're not taking care of yourself, or maybe you feel a little in a tizzy, that you really remember with this feeling. It should be a joyous feeling. It should feel like I am taking care of myself right now. This is you taking care of yourself. This is self-care. Some emotions may come up and just let them flow. If you're having trouble staying grounded and thinking, okay, what do I have next on my day? What is for dinner? Just let the thoughts come. Don't force them to leave. Just allow them to enter and just gently remind yourself, thank you so much for the reminder. Now let's get back to work. Let's refocus. And just come back to your breath. If you feel like you're doing it wrong, you're not, I promise. This is you learning a new skill. This is something new. This is something different. So you may be having a little trouble, and that's okay. It's normal. I'm sending grounding energy to you to help you refocus. And we're going to anchor this energy in. And I want you to be intentional as we set this anchor. That you promise yourself that when you start feeling in a disarray, you start feeling not in control, to where it feels like things around you are just so chaotic, where it feels like you just need a break, I want you to come back to these techniques. Promise yourself that you will come back to these techniques. Whatever technique that resonated with you, whatever technique interests you, you want to practice more of, or maybe you'll find your own. And that's okay too. But promise yourself that when you start feeling out of order, out of alignment, you will come back to these techniques, no matter the situation. Could be at work, the middle of a rush, could be a disagreement with a loved one or coworker. That whatever usually you would let maybe control the narrative of the day, even after the event, that you'll remember to do any or all these exercises. You can excuse yourself. You can remind yourself that you can excuse yourself from the situation at hand. And if you're at work, you can step into a restroom. If you're on your lunch, you can go to your car. But to remind yourself that you are allowed, you are meant to feel safe in your body. And that's what these tools will help with. So whatever intention you need to set, go ahead and make those promises to yourself out loud or in your head. Place your hands on your heart area, on your chest. And we're going to anchor it in. We're going to inhale and hold and exhale. And we're going to release those old narratives that say that whatever reason we couldn't do it before. We're going to inhale one more time and hold and exhale and anchor in that we are going to ground ourselves. We're going to take care of ourselves. And that this is, even if this is our first step or our second level, whatever area, wherever you're at in your journey, that this is part of your self-care and your self-love. Know that you are safe and you are loved and you are protected. And if you need a little assistance, that you can always come back to this meditation. You can listen to it before bed. You can listen to it before going to work. This meditation is also a tool as well. Let this meditation be your training wheels if it needs to be. I like to invite you to bring your focus back to your eyes. Invite some gentle movement into your wrists. Maybe rotate your wrists, rotate your ankles. Maybe move your shoulders a little bit. And come back to this space. So, how we feeling? Let me know in the comments. Or if you saw anything or if you felt anything, I would love to hear. Had an interesting experience, a shield that overcame me. Yes, yes. I felt like that too. It just felt really good. And then a few minutes, I heard a punching bag coming from my left ear. Nice. Interesting. That is really interesting. Like your eardrum. What side was it? Was your left side or your right side? Left, your receiving side. Oh, love that. You can't make it up. Can't make it up. Oh, I know. I feel so good. I feel so good. My favorite thing to do is just to like smoke a little bit and to stretch. Like that feels so good. So if you indulge in cannabis, I recommend. And if you do not, you don't need it, but just stretching feels so good. Just start stretching a little bit, right? So that is it for this workshop. I stayed in the time frame of within the hour, so win. Because if you know me, you know I love to talk, right? So thank you all so much for joining. Again, like what was said in the meditation, this is a tool. Even if you need to listen to it like a podcast episode, then do it. Okay, Bestie? This is a tool. This is your resource. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for choosing you and for doing this workshop. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Go out and fucking rock this bitch of a day. All right. You guys have a good one.